Snorlax.
Again, perspective and the red distress.
Yeah.
Tubbo.
I love doing that scene. Oh yeah, here's a one of my first like character design changes that I went through. So Tubbo didn't have horns in any of the other animatics, but I gave him them in this one because they were sort of canonized, like a little bit. I think Puffy mentioned that Tubbo had horns on a stream once, and everyone was
Is
like,
that
"Oh
how
my
it
gosh."
happened?
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh.
Tubbo has horns now." And then someone, like, I don't know if they donated to him or something. They said, "Does your character have horns now?" And he said, "I guess they do." So I was just like,
Oh.
it's sort of my choice to include them or not. So I decided, hey,
Yeah.
this is a really good visual way to get some like some, what do you call it, parallels in storytelling with Schlatt.
Yeah,
So
because I remember that.
that was my idea.
In like I think previous anime, I don't remember which one, but like showing like the red horns on
Yeah.
Tubbo. I didn't know that's how it was. I thought people just for some reason were like, yeah, let's make him into a goat or something. I didn't know there was like a reason behind it.
I'm not sure who started it, but I believe it
Oh.
was Puffy on stream who first mentioned it as being something that might have been canon.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay. Oh, there it
Yeah,
is.
and then-
So that's
Yeah, there's the horns. And then the one thing that I didn't change about the character is that I didn't add scars to Tubbo, and a lot of animators do. And that's like from when he was assassinated at the festival.
Yeah.
Lots of people add like
just
some sort of scarring to indicate that. And I really like that idea, but I tend to go against the grain when it comes to character designs just a little bit. So I decided not to include it because the scars weren't canonized as thoroughly as the horns were. Because Puffy, or I actually might have been Ranboo who mentioned that Tubbo was like, he said Tubbo was really scarred by what happened at the festival, and you can interpret that as literal or like metaphorical.
Yeah.
So I interpreted that as metaphorical. But in this particular scene, I did give him some scarring. Just like that red evidence is just like
from what had
some of the
happened.
things he's been through.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
and this
that's
sort of
cool. Yeah.
this idea carries through from the previous panel where Tommy shows the red axe and the red sword, so it's just showing things from his past that he associates as being causes of stress or like trauma. And then in this scene we're seeing red horns from Tubbo, who is expressed discomfort at being compared to Schlatt, and also the scarring from the explosions.
Okay, so that's not so it's more of like thinking about discomfort thing more so than like comparing Jay Schlatt to Tubbo.
Yeah, I think this was it was more about Tubbo having fears about like in the past being compared to Schlatt. But honestly, you can interpret it either way and it works.
Ranboo.
Yep. Oh, redesigned Ranboo.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what you did for the first ones. I don't remember.
It pretty much looked like how he looked in actual videos, like just a very human sort of design. But I changed it here. This is my biggest character design change I've ever done, and I did it because when I first drew Ranboo in Desolate, which was the first one he appeared in, his character had a very different role in the story. He was sort of a mediator between Tommy and Tubbo while Tommy was in exile.
Yeah.
And he was a very like human character, and he hadn't fleshed out a lot of his lore yet. Like it was not a whole lot was going on with him other than being just a person wandering around the SMP. But now his character is very rooted in a whole different like persona. So I decided to change the character design to reflect that. And one thing I'd like to note about it is that the suspenders on him came completely out of a joke. I was like sending a picture to my friend of this panel, and I was like, "Oh, I really like how this panel's turning out." And then I said, "Wouldn't it be so funny if I gave him suspenders?" And then I did, and then I liked it, so I just kept it in.
No, I feel like he's killing it. He's killing the suspender look.
It's sort of it gives him a bit of like a goofy vibe, but I think it fits with his character.
For the eyes, like these little scars, that have to do with like the tears, like if he cries, like it scars his face. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, is that
and I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember one of Ranboo's streams, he ended it with one of the little graphics that he uses of like the smiley face. But
yeah.
Just one of them. And I remember looking at one of them. It might have been red or something, but I was looking at it and being like, "Oh shoot. I think I'd have a lot of fun with like representing his emotional like characters trauma or issues with having his eyes be just completely redded out with like tears. So that's not like that was just like a really personal sort of spur of the moment. Oh, that'd be cool. But I think it turned out nice. I don't know. I like how it looks.
No, that's cool. Just like the quick like little transition too again.
Yeah,
Like
and then
on
like
the beat, on the beat too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and that sort of worked because the lyrics for that is like leafless treetops in the snow, views of death and bitter cold. So I was like, ooh, Snowchester moment, perfect.
Oh wait, yeah.
Animating that scene where he steps out of the portal. If you pause it, there you can actually see the portal like cutting through his leg in the back there.
Oh,
and then it
yeah.
goes through. That was so much fun to animate. I don't know why.
It was just fun, like just.
Yeah, just mapping that out. I don't know.
Yeah, you could definitely see it.
Yeah, and these panels are very the music's really building here, right? So I wanted to build the tension by sort of slowly introducing the viewer to the inside of the prison, like what's
Yeah.
going on inside there. So he steps through the portal, he signs his name in the book, and then this scene, when you go into the prison, you have to put the key card in the ender chest.
Yeah.
And in his ender chest is a lot of important items, including the discs. So that's what's going on here, is he's putting the key card in and then at the same time acknowledging the discs, all three of them, in his ender chest finally. And just, some of them are like blood stained or just, they've been through a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah. For the third one, did you just kind of do this like, so I see like you can clearly see the first two, but then like the third one kind of like pops in. Is that just kind of like, what was that about?
Yeah, in this case, it's because the third disc is actually there. It's just underneath the other two and you can't see it.
Okay. It would
Which
just be
was sort of
to,
obnoxious.
just tough to fit all three in with.
Yeah,
okay, I see what you're
the way
saying.
the panel was structured, I couldn't find a great way to do it, but
This looks cool. Like this right here is really cool looking.
oh yeah, the lava coming down. Yeah, these panels, it's been so long since I worked on these panels that it's difficult for me to remember exactly what I was thinking with them.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 months.
Was it tough to figure out like how you wanted to make Sam? Because when you do these, you make him like a much more like human looking. Obviously, Sam's just this creeper. Was it like tough to think of a design, or was it not that troubling to figure out?
It was a little bit difficult. My process for making new character designs is I go on like Pinterest or Instagram and I look up other people's character designs and I just make a huge reference library of everything, and then I make a list of things that I like about character designs and things that I don't, and then I'll add some new twists on it. So my Sam design is mostly based on other people. So like the mask is a really common element, the trident and the hoodie. But where it diverges is I decided to give him I decided first of all to make his face really visible, like his eyes, because I needed him to be expressive. Like I feel like Sam is a bit underrepresented as a tragic character, like an emotional character.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things going on in his backstory, like how he was trapped in the egg. And
Yeah,
what
is
was it? I
that.
think he like ate his own flesh.
Oh,
Which is
I forgot about
just
that.
so,
You're right. He
oh
did
my god, it
eat
was
his
so
flesh.
dark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then after that happens, he goes back to save Hannah from the egg.
Yeah.
After all of this happened, and then Hannah betrays him
Yeah.
at the red banquet. So there's so much going on there. So I decided to give him like a really emotional character design, and I also made sure his armor and his trident were a bit artistic in how they were, like there's like swirling lines a little bit, like the little gauntlets around his upper arm are a little bit like I don't know, they're ornate instead of like functional. And I did that so that I could emphasize him as a very human, a really human character. I felt like I don't see a whole lot of work, or at least not as much about the main cast that's as emotional that's tied to Sam. I'm sure there's a lot, but it's still like I really wanted to dig into that because it's super interesting.
Sam is one of those probably like has like the most connections like to different people in lore. I can't.
Yeah,
think of
he's
anyone
doing
that
so
has,
much.
Yeah, he features in like everyone's lore.
The egg lore, Tommy's main lore, and like